Hi everyone, I'm Mike Todd and welcome to Toddy Tackles. This week we're going to be melting down some old copper pipe offcuts. It's really handy melting down your old scrap metal because, as you'll see, you can cast them into ingots which can be remelted and cast into anything. Castings can be used to replace broken parts of lawnmowers, motorbikes, cars or anything that has a broken component. Also, you can take them down to your scrap metal yard and sell them. Plus it's great fun. These are some of the tools you'll need: crucibles to hold the metal, a spoon to scrape the dross off the top, and then some in the middle, a couple of graphite casting moulds with a jeweler's mould at the back. But if you don't want to buy proper casting moulds, I've found a standard Yorkshire pudding tin does the job just fine. You'll also need some tongs to hold the hot crucible. The two on the outside were bought online, and the two in the middle are made. This is my furnace. It's a Vevor 10 kilogram melting furnace. I don't get any commission for these products, just showing you what I've got. This one was less than £100 online, and for that you get the regulator that goes on the standard gas bottle, the gas pipe, the burner, the furnace, the lagging inside, a fire brick, a crucible for melting your metal down, and a pair of tongs. So for less than £100, I think you'd agree that's pretty good value. This is how I like the furnace. The easiest way I found is to just drop a bit of burning tissue paper into the furnace, turn the gas on, and then that fires up the furnace, and then you just let the paper burn away. After a while, once the paper's gone, you can put some copper pipe inside the crucible and then just lower it into the furnace, and it sits on a fire brick in the base. Then you put the lid on and let that first charge melt. Once the first charge has melted down, you can add further bits of copper pipe until you've got a reasonable amount of molten copper in the crucible. Be careful though, because the weight increases quite dramatically and you'll be handling 5 or 6 kilograms of molten copper, which when you first start can be a bit daunting. Here I'm adding borax as a flux to the molten copper. Borax is cheap to buy online, about a kilogram is less than £10, and you use a real small amount. We use borax because it helps to make the metal flow when it's molten, it prevents oxidation, it purifies it and combines with the impurities to form a slag on the top, which we'll see later we can scoop off. Now the amount you use is difficult to gauge. The official figures are 0.006% by percentage weight, but I've found a quarter of a teaspoon for about 2-3 kilograms of copper gives good results, and I don't think it's that crucial. Another fun bit. These are the tongs that came with the kit, and we use them to lift the crucible out of the furnace and stand it on a fire brick. Copper melts at 1084 degrees centigrade, 1981 degrees Fahrenheit, so safety equipment is paramount. You really should be having a face visor, leather gloves, leather apron, preferably leather boots as well. Here I'm using just a standard dessert spoon to scrape the dross off the top of the metal so we don't pour any rubbish into the mould. I bought these tongs online and they're really good for getting a proper grip of the crucible, and as you can see it gives you a really good steady pour into the moulds. Once it's empty, I always put the crucible back inside the furnace and shut the lid so that it cools down really gradually to avoid it cracking. Once they cool down, you tip them out and you've got copper ingots ready for future projects. just to show you that you can use the proper moulds from that you buy online, but a standard Yorkshire pudding tin does just as good. Lastly, we give them a clean up on a wire brush just to clear off any residual dirt that's got onto the outside of them, so that when we remelt them, we're trying to put as pure as metal as possible into the casting crucible. You can see here that I've not only melted copper, but I've also done some aluminium, zinc, and you can do any metal you've got hanging around the workshop that you would just normally throw away. I really hope you found this video useful. Please add any comments or subscribe below. Remember, always wear your safety glasses in the workshop and look out for future videos of Toddy tackles.